Today's question is, can a prenup protect me from my spouse's student loans? The answer is yes. Whether the student loans are from before the marriage or during the marriage, you can write into your prenup that any student loans are the responsibility of the spouse who took them out. That said, there are circumstances where it may make sense for student loans to be considered a joint debt. For example, if you're married and part of the student loan is going to pay for your living expenses like rent and groceries, well, then that money is benefiting both of you, and it makes sense for that to be a joint debt. But most of the time, people agree that student loan debt follows the person who took it out. Sometimes people ask, what if my spouse goes into default on his or her student loans and the lender is garnishing wages from our bank account? And yes, this is something that can sometimes happen, particularly if you've been in default a long time. You can write into the prenup that if your spouse's student loan default results in your bank account getting garnished, your spouse has to pay you back the money that is garnished. Of course, this must be said. If you get to the point in your relationship where your spouse's student loan debts are being garnished from a joint bank account and it's a surprise to you, you've got bigger problems than just the money going missing from your account. The best protection from your spouse's student loans is having an open book when it comes to your assets and debts and discussing your finances on a regular basis so that you're making these decisions jointly, and hopefully neither spouse is defaulting on their debts regardless of who is ultimately responsible. One of the underrated benefits of a prenup is that for it to be enforceable, each spouse has to disclose all of their assets and debts to each other, usually in writing. This keeps you from being surprised by your students' debts in the first place.